Hey, welcome to Bariatrics and Tips. I'm Michelle Geeson. I'm so glad you're here. And more to the point, I'm so glad I'm here. It has been 2 weeks. So 2 weeks, the first Sunday that we didn't meet, it was because I was preparing for my daughter Maya's marching band camp, where I'm kind of like the parent operational director, so to speak. So we were preparing for that. And then last week we were coming off of band camp, and that was a crash and burn. I don't think I've ever been so tired in all my life. So I am straight out of band camp. Thank you for bearing with me. And you are in for a very good treat today. This is a best of bariatrics and tips. This is my all too famous egg roll in a bowl, and you are going to be mesmerized. I don't use any exotic ingredients. There are some things that I substitute, and I will certainly let you know that as we're going through. If you have questions about any of the gadgets or food items, spices, anything, make sure that you post those questions on the video itself right now, because my daughter Maya is manning the camera or womaning the camera and she will make sure that I know if a question is asked. Maya, say hiya.
No.
No, she's smiling and totally cheesing out. So, you know, one thing we all have in common is that we have all had weight loss surgery, or we're gearing up to have weight loss surgery. Maybe we're thinking about having weight loss surgery, or maybe you're just contemplating just a healthier lifestyle. Even if you're trying to combat diabetes, you are in the right place, because I love to live large, cook and eat small, and find flavor in everything that I do. And today is no exception. Egg roll in a bowl. One of my favorite things to have prior to my weight loss surgery 7 years ago was treating us, the family, to Chinese food. I have to say, now that I can make some of these dishes at home that have been bariatricized to fit my lifestyle and slimmed down to fit everyone's lifestyle in my household, it is a really nice treat every once in a while to have Chinese food, but it doesn't taste as good to me from a restaurant as it once did prior to weight loss surgery. And this egg roll in a bowl is my go-to. And I will give you a bit of free advice. It tastes even better the next day cold. Sometimes I'll take it to work and just gobble it up without even hitting the microwave. So you're in for a special treat. We're gonna get started. Maya, are there any questions so far? No. Okay, why don't you come around here so they can see everything that we see, and we will go through the ingredients list first, okay? I've got my laptop here so I don't miss anything. Maya, come around over here, please. And show everyone everything. Oh, hey Kim, yay. I'm sure, hopefully you can still listen while you're going to Meijer. I just came from there too, so getting ready for this demonstration and realized I forgot the darn coleslaw. So here we go. So we are gonna start off with a pound of meat or poultry of your choice. You can either choose extra lean ground beef, ground turkey, or ground chicken. I actually prefer ground chicken for this, and that is what I used here. And I've already browned it, and I've actually run it through the Cuisinart. I like to do that so it gets very granularly and small in the portions. You don't have like big chunks of meat in there. So I've got this all ground up for us. The next ingredient is, here Maya, come over here. We've got a sweet onion. This is an actual Vidalia onion, and I learned that Vidalia onions are only Vidalia if they are certified Vidalia, so that one is. We are looking at garlic. We need sesame oil, which I have over here, sesame oil, rice vinegar, ground ginger, low sodium soy sauce, which I buy by the gallon. Are you panning in, Maya? I buy by the gallon, and then I just put it in a ketchup bottle, and I marked it very OCD with my label maker. Hoisin sauce, that'll add some really nice flavor. A half a bag of coleslaw. This was my missing item, so I'm just going to use half of this bag. A package of bean sprouts. And what else? A half a bag of salad shrimp. So this is the salad shrimp that I used. And I always like to be protein heavy on mine. So I used a little bit for lunch, and then I used the rest. So this is more like right here. This is more like 3/4 of a bag, but I also ran this through the Cuisinart as well. Hi Jill, thanks for watching. Hi Melissa. So you can see that it's like bite-sized because I want this to mimic what I find when I cut open an egg roll at my favorite Chinese restaurant. All right, 2 stalks of celery. You can dice them. I like to cut them in half and then slice them on the slant. It just makes it look fancy schmancy. And celery adds a really nice crunch to it. Then we've got optional, of course, sriracha, if you want to add a little bit of heat, which I do. Spices nice. 2 green onions sliced thin, which I've got that right here. A beaten egg, which I've got right here. And then, salt and pepper to taste. Now, I do want to let you know the rice vinegar is in place of a lot of recipes for egg roll in a bowl show that you should use fish sauce or oyster sauce, and I'm not a fan. So when I did a Google search years and years ago when I was refining this recipe shortly after weight loss surgery, I typed in substitutes for fish sauce or oyster sauce, and rice vinegar was a really good substitute. So I've been using that ever since. It just adds that salty, briny, yummy flavor. Okay, so now you know of all of our ingredients. The first thing that you want to do is you want to brown the meat until it's no longer pink and then drain the fat, which I've already done for us because that was in the essence of time and space. So I just turned on my stove top, and I've got this going. What we're going to do after is we are going to add the diced onion and the garlic, and we're going to saute it until it's translucent. It shouldn't take too long. There's my onion, my Vidalia, and the garlic, which I believe is just, let me look at my 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. Gosh, I love garlic. It smells so good. Maya, you want to smell this? She's saying no. Okay, so there we go. So now let's get this stirred up. I'm gonna put this over here. You can hear it going. Chinese food was always like a treat in my household growing up. I remember my grandparents ordering it for us. My grandfather always liked shrimp and lobster sauce. And I was always like a egg roll, chow mein, chop suey type girl. So this mimics it pretty nifty. All right, so we're gonna keep on going there. So we're gonna saute that until it's translucent. And then we need to add the sesame oil and rice vinegar. So sesame oil and rice vinegar. A tablespoon of the rice. And where did it go? A tablespoon and 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. Gosh, that was hard for me. I was like looking. Love that Chinesey. Yes, Liz. We always call it Chinesey. Why do we do that? Was that because of my grandmother? I'm not quite sure. I don't remember. I thought it was a inside joke. We always say Chinesey. All right, so this is looking pretty good. I can see that the onions are getting nice and translucent. It's a key to knowing that we can go on to the next phase. I always like using a wooden spoon for this. I just think it's easy to manipulate and handle. So now we are going to add our tablespoon of rice vinegar. Again, that's in place of the fish sauce. And then 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. 1 and 2. Sesame oil gives that great Asian flair. It is one of my favorite oils to use, especially in Asian cuisine. Okay, so let's see what's next on my recipe. All right. Now we need, let me get this stuff out of the way. I need that, Mai. Thank you. Now we need the ginger, soy sauce, hoisin sauce, coleslaw, and bean sprouts. Okay, it's looking good, you guys. You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, Missy's watching. Are you guys on the road to anywhere right now? Have you gotten up to the Mackinac Bridge yet on your trip? Got the whole family watching, Missita? All right, so ginger. We need a teaspoon of ginger. Here it comes. 1 teaspoon coming up. Teaspoon of ginger. Oop, got a little bit of a clump there. Oh well, we'll get it. A teaspoon of ginger. The soy sauce. 1/4 cup. There's the 1/4 cup of soy sauce. The hoisin sauce. 1 tablespoon. This stuff is good. I just love the way it flavors. There's our heaping tablespoon of hoisin sauce. Okay. What do we have next? All right. I'm gonna stir it before I add the coleslaw and the bean sprouts. I just want to make sure everything's incorporated properly before I add my veggies. Here we go. Yum. Should be noted that I have not had lunch yet. I'm going to be in just a few short minutes because this is taking shape. Okay, so now we want to add the 1/2 bag of coleslaw. So I'm gonna eyeball it. That looks like a 1/2 bag to me. And a package of bean sprouts, my favorite. All right, now it's gonna get tricky. Now you gotta start mixing. The other thing that you can do when you're making this is if you find that the flavors are too strong for you, you can always add some broth. Vegetable broth, beef broth, chicken broth. Usually it's my go-to to refresh dishes like this. It's my go-to. Whatever I have in the refrigerator is usually what I use. And I think I have vegetable broth in the fridge right now. So it might be that I add some. It might be that I don't. But it is looking pretty choice, wouldn't you say? All right, we're getting there. All right, so we're gonna cook and stir that, up to, maybe 5 to 7 minutes. It really depends whether you like something that's nice and soft or you like a little bite to it. I kind of like a little bite to it. It'll be nice and soft tomorrow when you eat it cold the next day. But right now it's looking pretty yum. All right, so now I am going to add my shrimp. And this is where you would add your sriracha, which I'm gonna do. Now you can add whatever you want. I mean, 2 teaspoons is like the basis. I just kind of eyeball it. I love sriracha. All right, let's get this mixed in. And this is where if I decide that I added too much sriracha, I can add that broth in to help dilute it a little, but I have never walked away from my egg roll in a bowl for sure. I like using the shrimp. I think it adds so much protein, like solid protein, a perfect protein. Yum doesn't even begin to describe it, Lizzie. It is lovely and delightful. And here we go. All right, so now the one thing that we want to do now is we need to incorporate this beaten egg. So in the center of, you're gonna make like a little donut, like a little pool, and you are, oh, and actually I forgot the celery and the onion, but I'm gonna do the egg first, and I'm gonna pour the egg in the middle, and we wanna vigorously incorporate it into the mix. It's gonna, it's almost like a scramble effect, but you're gonna mix it in. And it adds good flavor and makes everything kind of stick together, so to speak. All right, it's starting to really look good. Thanks, Melissa. It's really taking shape. And don't ask Maya this because she will roll her beautiful brown eyes like she just did. But the kitchen smells amazing. And she's like, get me out of here. I did bribe her to do the camera tonight. Her favorite dish these days is good old mac and cheese. So I guess I'm making that for dinner in payment for broadcasting this. But we make our mac and cheese from scratch, so it's a little bit better for you. All right, so the egg is in there nice. I'm gonna add my celery. I don't want to get the celery too cooked because, you know, then it gets soft, and I like to have that crunch. And then our sliced green onion, and we will incorporate it very nicely. And the dog's coming running, so you know it must be good. All right. Some people like to take the green onion and sprinkle it over top when you're done. I just like the way that the heat, you're kind of steaming it at this point. The heat turns that celery and that green onion such a beautiful green color, and it just looks perfect to me. All right. So there is our egg roll in a bowl. We're gonna have to plate this bad boy in a minute and do the taste test. Hold on one second, Maya. Keep focusing on that for just a minute, if you would be so kind. All right. The other thing that you can do that's really good is you can serve this with some riced cauliflower to make it a meal. You could even take your homemade egg roll wrappers and roll your own egg rolls, or you can just, you can put this on lettuce and have a roll up. There's so many ways that you could serve this. My husband would probably eat it with rice. I don't do rice very well since the gastric bypass, so we have broken up. All right, so wooden spoon, I am done with you. Let's get this plated. I'm gonna turn the heat off. It's lunchtime. And actually, it is called egg roll in a bowl. In hindsight, I probably should have put this in a bowl for you. But I'm gonna eat it from the plate. All right, Maya, come on over here. Thank you. Getting ready for the fork. Can you put a close-up on that for me, please? So here is our egg roll in a bowl. It looks fantastical. So now I'm going in. I'm going in for the kill. My mouth is dying because it's temperature hot. Spicy, yes, but super temperature hot. There's nothing in this dish that I would change at this point. It is absolutely spectacular. And I hope that you found that it was super easy. There wasn't much prep that I did beforehand other than dice the celery and prepare the shrimp and the chicken. I've tried it with ground beef. I've tried it with ground turkey. I like the chicken the best, but you decide what you like the most. The recipe will be posted at 3 o'clock. I have a couple of other posts in store for you today. So it's just a really good, wholesome recipe. And like I said, it tastes better the next day, even more so. Try it with rice, try it with some crunchy chow mein noodles, maybe a tablespoon or two, just so you have that extra crunch. It's very satisfying and very high in protein, very low in calories. Let me see if I did I didn't concoct the nutrition facts because it's probably gonna make a good 6 servings or something like that, but this is absolutely delicious. And so thank you for watching that. A few things that I wanted to go over. I'm looking at our schedule of events. Next week we've got another best of bariatrics and tips, my chicken pad thai-ish. Oh, it is such a great recipe. And I use shirataki noodles, which are a wonderful noodle substitute. You can use certainly whatever you want, but I can't wait to show that best of bariatrics chicken pad thai next week. And then after that, we're gonna switch modes and we're gonna do another best of bariatrics and tips. We are gonna do an egg and sausage low-carb casserole that's gonna knock your socks off. Then we did reschedule last week. We were supposed to do eggplant lasagna. We are gonna do that on September 4th. And then September 11th, I'm gonna do a keto low-carb zucchini bread, my own recipe, as these all are. That will knock your socks off. Now, when I do a zucchini bread, I am really doing zucchini muffins, and I like to do muffins whether they're regular size or mini because of portion control. Instant portion control, you take it's a no-brainer, and you take the thinking out of it. So if you have any ideas of other recipes you want me to try or bariatricize, please let me know, because I'm happy to oblige. I love experimenting and I love cooking. My kitchen is one of my happy places. So I got some really great knives for my birthday. I had a birthday last week, and I just love being in the kitchen and experimenting. So use that to your benefit and tell me what you want to see. All right. Thank you for joining in. I know that it was kind of a short one today, but I'm gonna go eat me some lunch, all right? Thank you to my daughter Maya for filming, and thank you to my husband who's out putzing in the garage. He told us to let him know when we were starting, so that way he would turn off the air compressor. So kudos to the Troy boy. All right, you guys, have a great Sunday. Take care. Bye.